Hi friends, I'm Miss Stephanie.
And I'm Miss Lil.
And we're from the Steele Memorial Library, a branch of the Wayne County Public Library, and we're here to share some stories with you today.
Yes, we are.
But we're going to start with our storytime song.
Okay.
Are you ready? Story time is starting, clap your hands. Story time is starting, clap your hands. Story time's begun, I hope that you have fun. Story time is starting, clap your hands. Well, Miss Lil, what are we going to read about today?
I don't know, but our box should tell us that. But it's kind of quiet.
It's not telling us anything,
No.
is it?
Talk to us, box. Let's see what's inside.
Oh. We've got another friend with us today.
What does he have on?
He has a helmet
Mm-hmm.
and looks like some fire gear maybe.
I think you're right. I think we're going to talk about fire or fire trucks or fire safety or something along that line. What do you think?
Well, I think it's Fire Safety Week.
Oh, well then that's a good thing for us to talk about.
It is. How perfect.
All
All right, so we're going to start with our first story. And this has our friend Pete the Cat in it, which we love Pete the Cat. This is Firefighter Pete, and it's by James Dean, and I'm reading it with permission from Harper Festival, an imprint of HarperCollins Books.
Pete the Cat, Firefighter Pete. We're going on a class trip today, says Principal Nancy. She leads the class to a bright yellow bus. Everyone climbs on board. I wonder where we're going, says Pete. They're going to visit the firehouse today. The bus parks right next to the bright red firehouse. Pete and his classmates are excited. The firehouse is huge. It's so big it can hold 2 long red fire trucks and all of the firefighters' equipment. Ring! The firefighters show the kids around. They give everyone a turn to ring the old brass fire bell outside the firehouse. Then all the kids take turns sliding down the firefighter's pole. Whee! Callie yells as she glides down. The firefighters allow the kids to try on their gear. The firefighters wear a lot of equipment. First, Pete puts on the heavy black overalls. Then he steps into the tall black boots. A firefighter helps Pete put on the heavy yellow jacket. Finally, they place a hard black helmet on Pete's head. All this gear is very heavy. Pete can barely move. The firefighters allow the kids to explore one of the fire trucks. Callie sits in the driver's seat. She presses the horn. Brrr! It's so loud that all the kids cover their ears. Then Pete turns on the sirens and lights. The sirens blare, woo-wee, woo-wee. The lights flash red and yellow. Suddenly, a loud bell rings in the firehouse. Uh-oh, it's the fire alarm. There's a fire in town. Gear up, Pete. The firefighters scramble to get in their gear very quickly. Pete puts on his gear too. They all climb aboard the fire truck and turn on the siren and lights. Firefighter Pete and the firefighters are on their way. Woo-wee, woo-wee! The fire engine races through town and the lights flash round and round. A firefighter presses the horn. Brrr! All the other cars move out of the way. There's the fire! It's hot and loud, but the firefighters know exactly what to do. They work together as a team to connect the fire truck to the fire hydrant. Then the firefighters also attach a long, heavy hose to the truck. Firefighter Pete gives the signal and the firefighters turn on the water. Whoosh! The water gushes out very fast. Several firefighters must hold the hose to control it. Pete helps direct the hose as they spray the fire with water. The fire is starting to go out. There's smoke everywhere. Suddenly, Pete hears yelling from the roof. Oh no, it's Grumpy Toad. He needs to be rescued. The firefighters raise a long ladder from the truck. Crank, crank, crank. The ladder goes up and up and up. Firefighter Pete and another firefighter help Grumpy Toad climb down the ladder carefully. Yay! The fire is out and everyone is safe. The firefighters drive back to the firehouse and take off all their gear. They pat Pete on the back and say, "Good job, Pete. Firefighter Pete helped save the day."
That was a really good story, Miss Stephanie. And I have another book for us. This is called Hamsters Don't Fight Fires. I think that's what the little hamster's saying, why not? This book is by Andrew Rue, and it's illustrated by Jessica Owen, and we're reading it with permission from HarperCollins. Hamsters Don't Fight Fires. Hugo was a hamster. Hugo was many things. He was helpful, polite, generous, a great cook, a fast runner, a slow eater, and a fantastic dancer. Cha-cha-cha. However, Hugo was not strong or tall or able to sing or particularly good at bowling. And Hugo was certainly not a firefighter. Still, Hugo had always wanted to be a firefighter. Ever since he was young, he loved the flashing lights of the fire engines and the awesome suits that the firefighters wore. Hugo also loved helping others, which is exactly what firefighters get to do all day long. After all, who needs more help than a scaredy cat stuck in a tree? Or a chef who can't cook for his guests because his barbecue is on the fritz? You should become a firefighter, Hugo. You'd be great at it. Hugo's friend Scarlett said to him one day, "I'm sure it would be difficult, but you should never be afraid to try something new. Look at me. I may be a snake, but someday I'll be the first reptile astronauts to blast into outer space." Hugo was still nervous, but he decided that Scarlett was right. Even though he was small, perhaps he should try to become a firefighter. He gathered his courage, walked down to the station house, and convinced the fire chief to give him a chance. However, things did not look good when he put on a fire suit that was much too big and sprayed the fire hose that was much too heavy and attempted to drive the fire engine that was much too fast and tried to slide down the fire pole that was much too high. "I am much too small," he said. "How can I help when I'm not big enough to slide or drive or spray the hose like the other firefighters?" Hugo was ready to give up and go home. But just as Hugo was leaving the station, an emergency call came over the radio. A forest fire was going on in the great woods just outside of town. "Hurry, let's go." Hugo tried to stay out of the way of the others, but in all the rush and confusion, he was given a fire suit that was much too big and somehow ended up on the back of the truck. When they arrived at the great woods, the firefighters rushed into action, unraveling hoses, setting up the ladders, and spraying water all around. Hugo watched the action and wished he was big enough to help. Then he looked up and saw a baby bird trapped in a nest at the tippy top of a tree. "Cheep, cheep." He told the firefighters about the bird, but no one knew what to do. The tree was so tall that none of the ladders could reach the nest. The branches were too old and too weak for any of the bigger firefighters to make such a dangerous climb. "Cheep, cheep." As the flames grew higher, Hugo knew what he had to do. He might not be a real firefighter, but the little bird needed his help. "Cheep, cheep." Gathering all his courage and strength, Hugo ran to the tree and started to climb. Hugo was very quick, and soon he reached the nest. With the scared baby bird carefully balanced on his back, Hugo rushed down the tree to safety. Back on the ground, all the firefighters were cheering for Hugo. Hooray! He had done what no one else could do. The baby bird was safe, and back in her mother's wings. Hugo's bravery had saved the day. Yay for Hugo! The firefighter came over and exclaimed, "I had my doubts, Hugo, but today you showed everyone that there is more to being a firefighter than how big you are. We would be proud to have you as part of the team." All the firefighters clapped for Hugo and lifted him up on their shoulders in congratulations. The local newspaper even took a picture. It was on the front page the very next day. Local hero, hamster saves bird. Hugo became the newest member of the North Creek Fire Station. And as it turned out, he also could make amazing 4-alarm firehouse chili, excelled at teaching the younger animals about fire safety, knew all the shortcuts for navigating the fire engine around town, could climb the tallest ladder to rescue the scarediest cat, and was small enough to fix even the most difficult broken barbecue. Who would have guessed that you could even order a special hamster-sized fire suit from the internet? Hugo was a hamster. He was still helpful, polite, generous, a great cook, a fast runner, a slow eater, and a fantastic dancer. But now he was also a firefighter, and he could not have been any happier. The end. Well, boys and girls, I brought Fireman Fred with me today, and he likes to sing a song about his favorite thing in the world. So he's going to sing that to you right now, and the words are on the screen so you can sing along with them.
Fire truck, I want to ride on a fire truck. Fire truck, fire truck, I want to ride on a fire truck. I want to sleep in the fire station. Wake me up when the fire bell rings. I'm gonna put on my hat, put on my coat, put on my boots. I'm gonna slide down the pole. Whee! Then I'm gonna get into my fire truck. Fire truck, I wanna ride on a fire truck. I have a hook and ladder, a hook and ladder. I climb that ladder and I hold on tight. I'm gonna get out the hose and I'm gonna shoot that water, shoot that water. I'm gonna shoot that water from the hose on my fire truck. Fire truck, I want to ride on a fire truck. When that fire truck comes near, people put their hands right over their ears. They do that because the noise is so loud from the siren on my fire truck. Fire truck, I want to ride on a fire truck. When that fire is all put out, I'm gonna jump into my fire truck and turn it around. I'm gonna go back to the fire station. I'm gonna have a hot, hot bath, a hot, hot dinner with hot, hot food like hot, hot chicken, hot, hot macaroni and cheese, and hot, hot broccoli. And for dessert, I'm gonna have some cold, cold ice cream. Then I'm gonna brush my teeth, jump into bed, pull the covers up to my head, and I'm gonna dream about my fire truck, fire truck. I wanna ride on a fire truck, fire truck, hey, fire truck. I wanna ride on a fire truck.
All right, well, those were really fun stories today. Hey, Miss Lil, have you ever been to the fire department?
No, but I want to ride on a fire truck.
Oh, me too. Friends, would you like to ride on a fire truck? Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be.
Well, you know what? There's a fire department right here in Mount Olive. I bet
Can we go?
I think we can go visit. You want to go?
I want to go. Come
Come
on.
on. All right, well, here we are at the Mount Olive Fire Department, and we're here with Chief Wiggins, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the trucks they have here and all the cool equipment that they use. Right behind us, though, is a really big bell. That was the first fire station bell that they had. Where they set off the alarm to know that they need to go fight a fire.
So did someone have to stand out there and ring it or bang it?
First person there rang the bell.
Okay, all right.
We used to have a horse-drawn hose wagon,
Oh,
and
my
when the
goodness.
bell went off, that horse would actually back into position. Some of the old
That's
retired
so
farmers
cool.
did.
That's a well-trained horse.
Okay, this is Mount Olive Engine 1. The fire engine is the workhorse of the fire department. This is what's going to put the fires out. And this truck is capable of pumping 1,250 gallons a minute. It also carries 1,000 gallons of water on it. And you'll notice up on the hose bed, all the fire hose up there, all of it is the smaller fire, the smaller hose, larger fires, larger hose. It carries a lot of hose on it. The big yellow hose up there is what we hook to a fire hydrant. There's 1,000 foot of that yellow hose up there, so we can catch a hydrant at the end of the block, and we can lay almost 2 city blocks,
Wow.
basically carrying our water supply with us.
Uh-huh.
But that's the purpose of all the hose. But this is truly the workhorse. This is the race car. This is the truck that moves quick, and it's what you're going to see at the fire scene, producing and putting out all the water so it can extinguish the fire.
When the truck pulls up to the hydrant, about how long does it take to get up and be ready to go?
What happened when that truck pulls up to our hydrant, there'll be one firefighter that'll get out, and he'll pull a section of that yellow hose off, wrap it around the hydrant. There's a red hydrant bag. He'll grab this hydrant bag right here. It's got all the tools to open up that fire hydrant. He'll wrap that hose around the hydrant, and the truck will take off laying hose. As the truck's laying hose, he's opening up the hydrant to make his connection. And a lot of times, if you got a good hydrant man, he'll have to wait on the operator before he can open up the hydrant.
Wow.
If not, he'll charge all the hose in the bed of the truck. And then that's another story.
Yeah, that's not a good thing, I don't think.
We also, since this truck is the first truck out on everything, wrecks, house fires, it doesn't matter. This truck goes first. So we carry a set of extrication tools on this truck as well. And these are battery operated tools. This is a lot like Dad's cordless screwdriver at home. It's got a battery right there. But it's still the jaws alive. Here I can show you how this tool, there's the jaws opening up. And that right there is actually a pair of scissors. It will cut the strongest metals that cars are manufactured with. This is the pump panel of the truck. This is basically where you operate this truck from. Once the driver gets out, he will put the pump in gear. Here's where we hook the big yellow hose. These are more discharge lines where we can hook smaller hoses such as this. And you can see all the gauges here. Each one of those gauges represent a hose line that can actually be charged. And boys and girls, you'll see all the numbers on the gauges. That's why it's important when you're in school to learn your numbers. It's a very complicated process to figure the correct pressures for all the hose when you run off this truck. So an operator of the truck it's a lot of training to be the operator of the truck. But this is all the controls of the truck. And again, this set of tools here is basically an axe and a Halligan bar. We call this the irons. We tell somebody to come off the truck with the irons. This is what they're talking about. We can use this tool for forcible entry, to get into a door that is locked. The combination of these two tools and two firemen, there's not many doors that'll stand up to this. So it's they refer to that as the irons. So one of the first firefighters that come off the truck, they're gonna have this in their hand more than likely, because we may have to make forcible entry into the house. In the engine, there is 6 seated positions in this truck. 5 of those positions have air packs in the seat. So the firefighters can put their air pack on as they're going to the fire call. Each one of these packs gives them 30 minutes of breathing air. A lot of people see the tanks on the back and call them oxygen tanks. It's not oxygen, it is compressed air, just like we're breathing out here today. This is our turnout gear. We call it bunker gear, turnout gear. It's basically the fireman's coat, fireman's pants, fireman's helmet. But it takes all of it for us to get into a burning building. I'll tell you a little bit about our helmet. It's made to protect your head, of course. When a building is burning, there's all kinds of objects falling sometimes. So this is to protect our head. Also, eye protection as well. And I got a fireproof hood in here that we have to cover up with. So no exposed skin as we're going into a burning building. Our coat and pants are made out of fire retardant material. In other words, it will not burn. You can still get very hot. On the inside, we have a quilted lining that protects us from some of the heat, and also a vapor barrier. So it's kind of like a raincoat that it sheds some of the water off of us. But the biggest thing is sheds heat and keeps the fire from actually burning us. The pants are made the same way, same fireproof material, same quilted lining. Our fire boots, although you can't see it, in the sole of the shoe is a metal plate. So if we step on a rusty nail, it doesn't go into our foot. So it takes all this to protect the firefighter as they're going into a burning field.
Well, we just wanted to thank Chief Wiggins for letting us come by today. It was really interesting. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate all that you do here at the fire department to keep us all safe.
That's right.
Appreciate y'all being here today. It's been a pleasure.
Good to see you. Bye, friends.
Bye.